Hello, hello, you guys. Today we're going to make a pop art snowman. He's based on pop artist Romero Brito, who is awesome. You can Google him and see all of his work. Pop art is bright colors, very saturated, things that are made like for comic books or if you've ever gotten a cup of coffee or seen a cup of hot cocoa or something at Starbucks during the holidays, that all of that pretty artwork on their cups, that would be considered pop art. So would a soup can. So would all of the fun graphics that you get on folders, pens, pencils, all that really bright and fun stuff. That's considered pop art. And that's what Romero Brito is very, very good at. And pretty soon you're going to be good at it too. So here is a version, my version, and you get to pick all of the things that you want to add to your piece to make it uniquely yours. I also want to give you a pro tip before you get started. It's a great idea to watch the whole video before you start your work. That way you can see what's coming ahead and get a better plan for what you're going to do. I want you to be seated somewhere quiet in a chair, if you have a desk or a tabletop, with no distractions, right? No TV. I want you to be able to hear well and really concentrate on doing a great job. Okay, let's get started.
Okay, I want to show you the supplies I'm going to be using. This is just white cardstock. You can use white construction paper or just even white copy paper from a printer will work just fine too. I have a ruler. Any ruler will work. I have a black Sharpie. This is an ultra fine point. Any type of black marker will work fine though, and a pencil and a white eraser. Any eraser will work. I'll probably end up using that one more anyway. And then for color, you can use markers. I've just got Crayola markers, or colored pencils would be really great too. Okay, so let's warm up with some practice sketching or drawing. And I want you to remember that you need to work really lightly. So let's do our practices really lightly too, just by making big circles. We'll probably put some hats on later. And then I've got, since we're making a snowman, I've got some parts here for our snowman. You need to decide, are you gonna make a boy or a girl? What kind of eyes are they gonna have? And this would be a great time to practice and just kind of see what you like. Try out a few different ideas. And nothing has to be perfect, right? We're just getting warmed up. I think eyelashes are kind of cute. If you're gonna do a girl, that would be super fun. And then obviously he'll have, or she will have, a carrot nose. And then what kind of lips, what kind of mouth? Maybe something like that, or a traditional mouth you see like this with his carrot nose. And then what about arms? We're just practicing, seeing what we like before we actually put it on our final piece. Mittens, that might be fun. That's pretty cute. Are the arms gonna go straight out? Or you can see here, these are bent. That's really fun. These maybe look like your snowman will be dancing, which that's fun. I love that. And then here are some more like accessories for your snowman. The hats are the thing, right? Hats are a pretty big deal to a snowman. I think this one's super cute, or this one. I also really like the traditional black hat. is your snowman gonna have a scarf or a bow or be holding a cup of hot cocoa maybe? It's gonna have a bird on his hat. All kinds of different things to think about, right? Well, let's see. Again, just practicing, seeing what we like. What if he had a bird on his head? It might be a little distracting or it might be super cute. You're gonna have to be the one to decide. A little beak, eyeball. I think that's pretty fun. What about, let's see, what about a scarf? What's the scarf gonna look like? This is a great way to plan out and like warm up your hands. It's gonna have buttons. And then I also want you to think about, let's see, let me show you. I also want you to think about doing small, medium, large. So if this is our final piece, let's imagine that we want to put our snowman here. Maybe your snowman is going to have 3 circles. I'm just going to stick with 2, I think. And then we want to do like something big, like a tree, and then maybe something small, like a baby snowman, or you could draw your pet out there. So you have 3 things: your snowman, your tree, and maybe a pet. And if that's what you want to do, this is a good place to practice that. My pet is a little chubby. Again, we don't need it to be perfect right now. Just a place to decide. These are just practices. And now I think I have a pretty good idea of what I want to make. I'm going to show you one more time. Oops, I guess this kind of goes like that. There we go. I'll show you in a second one more give you one more look at our accessories. Look at all the cute hats. That's a cute hat. That's a cute fun hat. I want you to see those. And then I'm going to turn it over. And here's all of our parts. Which eyes, which mouth, which nose, different mouths. And then what kind of hands, what kind of arms. So think about that and practice them on a piece of scratch paper. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, this is my cardstock, my final piece of paper. I want you to draw very lightly, draw so lightly that, I mean, it's like you are drawing on cotton candy. And make a tic-tac-toe grid. And I want you to put your snowman in this area, right? We're not gonna put them in the center, we're gonna put them off to the side. And we don't want them too big, but we want them kind of big. We have a lot that's going to be going on here, so we don't need them to be super big. And then we're going to do a carrot nose, and I can erase my lines now in this area. I'm going to keep my eyes pretty simple, and I think he's going to have some eyebrows. I just said it's a he, so maybe mine's a boy, huh?
And remember, you're free to do your snowman however you want. I should say snowman or snow girl. If you want to copy off what I'm doing, that's fine. You're more than welcome to do that. Or if you want to make your own or copy pieces of mine, that's fine. That's totally fine. All right, is he gonna have a scarf? I'm gonna look back at my practice. I kind of liked that scarf, so let's do that. Clean these lines up a little bit. Remember, we're drawing so light. I can't even stress that enough. Okay, Mr. Snowman, I think you need some buttons. And then for arms, I'm just gonna keep it really simple. One up, one down. That works for me. All right, the next thing is I'm gonna add a tree back here. I'm just doing little scallops. It's pointy on top. Scallops are these little things. And you can make whatever kind of tree you want. And then the last thing is, remember I said we're gonna do 3 pieces. So we have a tree, we have our snowman, and then I think I'm gonna draw my little corgi here. He kind of looks like a cat actually, but that's okay. All right. So now I can erase my pencil lines up here. And back here, there's going to be no tic-tac-toe lines left on my piece. And then we are going to bring in some patterns. And what I want you to do is take your ruler and make some marks or some lines. And this is going to create a background, okay? And if you use a ruler, you're going to get nice, clean lines. And make them go wonky, make them go like all over. Some, like this one is straight line, that's a crooked one. So I have 1, 2 triangles. I'm gonna keep going. I have 3. This will all make sense in just a little bit. We're gonna fill our background with some really fun textures, patterns, that kind of thing. So I have quite a few here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 different. Most of them are triangles. Some of them are a little wonky, but. And then the next thing we're gonna do is take your marker and fill these pencil marks in. We're gonna draw or trace over them with our marker like this. Having a ruler is so helpful. Sometimes you might want to change the direction of your cardstock or your paper so that it's easier for you to use a ruler. We're just going to keep going till we get all of these lines filled in. And then I want to show you some fun ways. We're going to also trace our tree and our snowman and our little, our small object, which mine is a corgi. I'm gonna get all this traced out. And I want to show you how you can make these a little more interesting. I know there's pencil lines here, but I'm not gonna let that bother me right now. I'm gonna go and erase them. But if you take your marker and make some of the lines fatter and some of them skinny, like they were originally, that is a great way to make things unique, make some of the lines stand out, very much like an illustrator, maybe in books that you've read, some of the pictures. And the line doesn't have to be perfect up here either. You can make it more wavy and fill it in. I do think that you should keep all of your lines here in black. So let's just do a little comparison. That side is so much more interesting than that side. So it's purposely wavy. So I'm gonna go in and trace all of this.
Okay, so I have outlined everything, and I want you to see, like what I was saying, those little areas where it kind of made the line fatter makes such a big difference. So I want you to try that. I think you'll really like it.
And I'm going to do a few more areas now that I'm looking. Sometimes it's really helpful to stand back and look at what you've done, and then you can make changes if you need to. And I like how this hat goes out. Another thing I'll tell you is, let's say you make a little mistake with your marker, just going over it, kind of outlining the line will help clean that up, because nobody's perfect, right? There we go. So fun. And I'm gonna do it over here too. And then also I decided the animal that I made, my little corgi, he was a little too small, so I made him bigger. That's another observation, just by looking back at your work, seeing changes that you make before you go ahead and put them in marker. So I'm gonna fill in his eyes now. I like to leave a little bit of white, and then I also want to put a little heart right there. Okay, so this is all finished. I can erase any pencil marks that I might have missed. I already see, and I want you, as you are working, see what your favorite parts are. Some things you're just gonna love, and some things you're gonna have to live with, and that's okay. Maybe there are changes that you would make if you did it again, but in the big picture, they're not gonna matter. So like Like I made a few little blips right there, and I'm just gonna let them slide, let them live. It's fine, right? Okay, so I feel like all my eraser marks are gone. The next, I see one more. The next thing I want to do is we're gonna talk about these backgrounds, the triangles. We're gonna fill them in with some patterns, and I wanna make sure, I'm gonna hold this up so you can really see all the different options. Of course, you can come up with your own, but these are some great ideas. I really like this one. I like that one. I like that one. I love stripes. Here they did some words in cursive writing. If you think you can do that, give it a try. I want to keep mine kind of simple though. I really like this. So yeah, and here are some more. So many options. Hearts would be really fun. Stars. The diamonds and triangles. Snow, how appropriate would that be? And these are fun too. The scallops. So many ideas. I really want to make sure you see those because I'm going to put it off to the side, and then we're going to, let me put this back on. We're going to take our pencil again, and we're going to fill in all of these background areas with those patterns. All right, so I'm going to start out. Remember I said I really like the hearts. So in this whole section, I'm going to fill it up and make a pattern with lots of hearts. Maybe you want them to be big or small. That is artist's choice, right? Okay, and then I'm also, let's see, what else? Maybe I'll do the snowflakes up here. And I'm just keeping them really simple. We want this to be all filled in. What else would be fun? I think some stripes would be really fun. If you wanted to use a ruler to make stripes, you could do that. I'm not going through the tree, I'm going behind the tree. I'm not moving the angle of my ruler. Hey, that worked out pretty well. Okay, what else could I do? I could do stars. That would be fun. Let's look at this side again. Oh, I really liked the big circles and little circles combo. And I liked these. That might be kind of hard. Do you think that you could draw those? I think squares would be super cute, and I think that kind of looks like the snow that's been falling. So maybe, let's see. I think I'll do the big circles and the little circles. And here. And you're gonna get it all filled in, all of your background shapes, fill them in with patterns. Okay, I have everything filled in, all of my patterns. Like I said, I really like stripes, so I made 3 sets of stripes. And then when it comes to patterns, I was thinking when I was drawing these out, repetition is something that really helps you improve in your drawing. So
It's really important from an artist standpoint to do that, but here it's going to make it look really cute as well. I thought this was fun, doing the little waves. And now, when I finished outlining everything, I went back and erased all the pencil lines. Now it's super clean and it's ready to start coloring in, and I'm super excited about that. So I pulled out some markers. I have a lot of different colors, you guys, so sometimes it's a good idea. Where's my practice paper? Sometimes it's a good idea to practice. Yep, that's the orange, and I know that I want his nose to be orange. And I'm gonna start filling in all the things that I know I want as far as colors. Like I know the corgi, he's gonna have specific features. Like I know this is brown. And what else? I need, let's see, I need some red because his little heart is red. And then I know I want to do my tree in green, but I'm gonna do that later. I'm not gonna sit here and color that whole thing and make you guys watch it. So I also think I'm gonna do this hat. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I wanted to show you, maybe you already know this, but when it comes to your markers or a pencil, there are two different lines you can get, right? You can get this line by holding it this way, and then if you angle it, you can get wider. And so if I have large areas to fill in, that will go a lot faster. So up here, I can do some of that. And on the edges, maybe I'll pick it up and go thinner, the finer lines, right? And then I'm gonna keep this all one color. You might change your colors up. It's gonna be really busy as far as the background, so I'm just keeping it all one color for now. Then I wanted to show you how we're gonna do our backgrounds, and maybe I'll do my pink hearts, although hearts could be any color really. Get those filled in. And then we're gonna do the background color. So while you're filling in things like this, think about what color you want for the background. If you want it to be like something that really stands out and catches your eye, then you'll use a nice contrasting color, which will be the opposite. So the opposite of pink is a blue. I think I don't want it to be super high contrast, so I might just use a lighter pink. So there's some variation here, but not a lot. And so you're gonna color these in, and then when you get to your next one, like this section, then you've got to think, well, okay, do I want high contrast, like I was just saying, or do I want it to kind of be blended in? And do I want it to match or be different? Those are all artist choices that you get to make. I'm using the side of the brush or tip to cover ground quickly here. Just goes a lot faster if you do that. So I'm going to keep coloring in, and I will come back and show you the finished piece. Okay, so you guys, my little pieces all filled in, and that was so fun to do and relaxing. I wasn't distracted and I had a great time, and I know you guys will too. I want to show you just a couple things. This is your option. Like, I kept that background white. And then I thought about maybe doing a couple other areas, but I ended up filling them in because it was so much fun. So there is my snowman, my pop art snowman. Does anyone remember what the last thing we need to do is? I'm going to move this a little bit. Here is a clue. The last thing we need to do is sign our work. Did anyone else get that right? So I have stripes right down here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put my name in one of those stripes. And I usually write in cursive. I know a lot of you like to just use your initials, and that's totally fine too. So it's completely finished now, and I want to ask you to sit back when your work is finished and think about like critiquing it. What do you like? What's your favorite thing that you made? Some things you're gonna, like I was saying earlier, some things you're gonna like and some things you're not. And that's okay. Is there any area that made you happy or excited now that you're looking back at it? Maybe make a mental note of that. I know for me, I really like the hat. I know it's not a standard snowman hat, but I think it's really cute. I also like that there's this area, which is like a whole third of the page. It's kind of calm because it's a lot of solid, and that kind of helps me appreciate all the busy areas. And I think that's really important in art too. You have to have some calm areas. Remember the drawing secrets that I told you about, because they're so super important. The last one I said was repetition. That is what makes you better at something. And then in the beginning, we did the tic-tac-toe, and we lined up our snowman on the marks where the tic-tac-toe lines were. I also told you, and I always tell you in class, to draw really lightly. That's the third thing. Super light, like you're drawing on cotton candy. And then the last little trick, which I haven't talked about before, is to make some areas thicker than others when you're doing your outline, because that just gives so much more personality. All right, so those are the 4 drawing secret tips that I had to share. I hope this was super fun for you, and I would love it if you brought your snowman to class so I could see, or maybe even have a grown-up take a picture and email it to me. That I would love to see your pop art snowman.